Hey, AI friends, welcome to the Full Stack Friday show. If you tuned into the show, you may not be here this week because I got stuck on this stupid file upload map API thing. And I did a map post and I was uploading the file and I could see all the data coming through the service. And we just could not hit the endpoint though.
No.
And it was like the endpoint was just not letting the communication happen. It wasn't doing the what's it called, the data binding, and everything on the client looked perfect, everything on the server looked perfect except for this stupid accepts header.
Ah,
So I forgot to put the accepts header on it. And in, I think, controllers, this used to go up in the front section of your code, and now it's defined back at the bottom.
I
And it just,
actually didn't even know you had to do that.
yeah, it feels counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So this is the accept header here. It's the multi-part form data which allows
Mhm.
files to be uploaded. And without this, your API will just not work. And
No.
then I've disabled the anti-forgery token temporarily just for uh, debugging, demo purposes, because it's another hoop to jump through to get the anti-forgery token to work with this as well.
Yeah.
So instead of,
I tend to actually do that quite often, even if it's an anti-pattern.
yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Security risk, but
Yeah, exactly.
this isn't going to be used in production, so I'm not really worried about it. If I
No.
was, we'd have to go through um, the
It's
methods of,
called hoops.
yeah, go through the hoops of attaching that anti-forgery token and passing
Yeah.
it up and verifying it and then doing work and sending back the request. It's easier just to disable it here and move on with our demo.
Yeah.
But
For testing, 100%.
yeah, I should probably make
We
a
can
note.
do that on the app level as well, right?
I
Or
believe
on the,
so.
yeah.
If you're using the traditional controllers, I think you do it at the controller level, and then all
Yeah.
the APIs underneath will follow. And I don't know if there's a method to run against the app level to do it with minimal
Yeah.
APIs.
Maybe. Let's leave it at a big maybe because it's not what we're talking about today, right?
There we go.
100%.
So we will note
Testing
it.
and demos. Yes. Prod, no.
We will note this.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think I need that anymore. I was using that to prompt our AI to generate that
Mhm.
for us. So just doing a little cleanup there. But what I've got so far is we have an app and it has several AI demos that we're building. It will one day contain many, but for
Mhm.
now, we have a quick chat completion. Um, it doesn't really do a whole lot other than verify that we can hit OpenAI.
Yeah.
And then we have a theme chooser, which is the first real AI feature we're going to add. And so far, it's just a quick proof of concept.
Yeah.
And what it does, we can take a file. I've got some on my desktop here. We'll be adding these to the
Don't
project.
dox yourself.
So
Go for
here
the
are,
butterfly. I like the butterfly.
we'll do the butterfly and we'll upload that file. And it says that the color that it pulled from that
Yeah.
image,
So
we'll
I'm
hit
actually
search
hoping
for,
that this is yellow.
and
It's brownish.
it likes red.
Yeah.
So it really likes red. Um, this AI that
Mhm.
picks through the images and grabs stuff really likes red for some reason.
Hey, go back to that page again.
Did I accidentally close my app? I did.
Yeah.
This one or the Hexy
Yeah,
AI,
the hex,
whatever
the one with
the
the hex
Hexy.
code
So I just
example,
highlighted
because I think I
the
saw
hex
something.
code and went search for.
If we ignore the color and we look at the CMYK over there, see
Mm-hmm.
how it's mostly yellow? Only it might be mixing in the other colors that you can see, which means the result turns into something that we don't want. That's
Picks
kind
up
of
that
what that looks
red
like,
pretty
doesn't it?
heavily. We
Hmm.
can do another one here as well. Let's see. I'm bad with tabs. Close that. Get that
I
one
never
here.
have too many
Select
tabs.
a file. Um, so let's see. This one has a lot going on. Let's see what it picks up out of this Black
Oh,
Sea image.
what would you hope?
So this one picked up this color. It's got
Hmm.
like a tan color it picked up. Oops. That's not what I want.
All
It
right.
happens to be flight information. It's got like a mustardy brown color it picked up. Real attractive there. It's also on the red scale. This
Yeah.
image recognition
But that
thing
might
really
be the
likes red.
tables, right?
Yeah, I think it was the tables from it.
Yeah.
So if we go back to the
So it's
images here,
trying. It's just having some issues splitting the colors and locating the subject. Yeah, the
really
mid
prefers the red
ground, medium
spectrum.
ground, what do you want to call it, on that image does have those colors.
Yeah, it looks like it grabs it out of the tables there. And I think
Yeah.
another thing it's doing is it locates subject matter in the image and pulls the colors from it. So if we did the balloons, I'm almost certain we'll get yellow.
Yeah.
So that's the picture. I can drag and drop. No, yeah, I can drag and drop that, by the way,
Yeah, we
because we're
got something
using,
yellow greenish.
yeah, so it pulled it out of that balloon.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really interesting about color, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to remember where I saw this being discussed the other day.
But you know what I
Um,
found really, really impressive? It's the stuff after the color on the same line, right?
what's that?
The description of
Oh,
the
yeah.
image. Yeah.
A group of hot air balloons in the sky. This is all coming from our AI service. And then it
Yeah.
tags it. So aircraft, transport balloon, hot air balloon, sky, hot air
Yeah.
ballooning, etc. Um, now, if if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. Um, do you have difficulty with colors?
Nope.
Okay, maybe it was somebody else I was thinking
Yeah.
of. So I
Not that I
was
know of, at least.
reading something really interesting the other day. People were discussing this image. I don't know if you've seen it go around the internet, but it says like it's like an optical illusion thing, and it shows like a can of Coke in black and white, but when you look at it, it looks red. And people are like, there's actually some red in that picture. Have you seen this?
No,
No.
I have
I
not.
wonder if I can
But
find
I
it.
don't see a lot of red either.
I'm probably going to get too far into color theory with people, but I mean, we were talking about picking colors with AI. So
Yeah.
let's see. Coke and black and white. That's not it. Oh, there it is. This one. It's either this one or very similar to this one.
Oh,
So
that
what
is
people are saying
trippy.
is that there isn't red in this, and that your brain is filling in the red because you see a Coca-Cola logo and
I
your
was
brain
just going to
interprets that as
say
red.
that I feel like that's red, but when I look at it line per line, I think it's entirely black, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Or like
says
grayscale.
black, white, cyan, no red.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Maybe don't want Twitter here, but here's the thing with it. If you didn't have the cyan color, you probably wouldn't see the red because the
Yeah.
surrounding color influences the color that you're looking at. So it's
It's
nothing
one of
really to
those
do with the
negative
Coca-Cola.
colors, right?
So if I don't think I can, yeah, I might be able to cover this up. I mean, if it, regardless of it being a cola can, has nothing to do with the fact that it looks red.
Yeah, the issue is that I know it's a cola can now, right?
Well, it's more the contrasting color. So this
Mm.
blue actually influences this to look red.
Yeah.
If this were a different color, it might not be that way. So here's another interesting one. Like I don't know if I can find an example of it online.
And I'm guessing the
But
noise in the blue as well kind of influences bringing the can itself to the foreground, right?
so orange is a really interesting one. If you see this block of, well, that actually helped a lot.
Mm.
But orange is something that will either look brown or it will look orange depending on the surrounding color.
Okay.
So your brain will interpret it to be orange if it's on. This looks more bright orange than it
Hmm.
did on the white background here.
Yeah, definitely. It looks
So a lot of,
darker on the
yeah.
white background.
So if you just handed somebody a white background with this color, they might actually say that okay, that one's really brown looking, right?
Yeah.
But then when you pull it up with a dark background, it looks pumpkin orange.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a
And
lot to
this
do with
entire
that.
topic falls into the thing we were talking about earlier today with accessibility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
And
think
with color blindness.
yeah, that's why I was asking you if you had any issues with colors.
No.
But the point being here that AI might, it's scanning it by, numbers. It's looking
Yeah.
at bits and it may pull out some subject matter and then pull a color off of it. And then, for example, like this balloon, it looks kind of dull, like mustardy yellow.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
if you
it's pulling
reload
that
this
out of that
page,
image.
will it close and reopen the connection to OpenAI?
Our app, no.
No.
This is
So
a
it's a
file
new
for game.
connection, or sorry, it keeps the connection every time, or
It's just RESTful. You send a file,
all
it
right.
sends data back, and then
Yeah. I was thinking if you run
state's
the
lost.
same file again, will we
Oh,
get the exact same color?
yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
always seems to pick the same thing. Exactly the
Yeah,
same thing.
that I think that's the same color code.
And almost all the same tags, if not identical as well.
Hmm.
So it's not like generative AI where it's kind of predicting um,
Oh.
the next words in a sentence. This one's being very specific about what's in the image.
Yeah, that's crazy
Yeah.
to me.
But yeah, there was no red in that Coca-Cola can looking thing. It's all about relative colors. Your eyes play a lot of tricks on you. Your the human brain is very weird with colors and
Yeah.
how we interpret them. So you got to
And
be
do we see the same color? That's always a question
that's
as well, right?
yeah, that's something that you can't really verify.
No.
Yeah, if somebody,
Yeah.
if you took a small child and told it that blue is orange their whole life, then they would
Yeah.
assume. Yeah. All right.
So
So
what are we
let's
doing
do the
today?
UI on this thing here.
Hmm.
One thing I think I'd like to see is first of all, we need to draw the image back onto the screen. I keep going back to the folder to see what it looked like.
Yeah.
So we want to display the image. And currently, if we look at the code that's here, we do save it to the www root folder, and that was on purpose because then we can display it as a static resource on the web
Yeah.
page because it is being stored in our www root. So you can actually see
But
those.
are we
And
actually ever going to reuse an image?
yes,
All
so
right. Never mind then.
a couple things here. If this was going to be production, I would probably rename the file with some kind of unique identifier
Hmm.
and store it that way because you don't want to overwrite. Right now, if I upload the same file, it's going to write over the top of
Yeah.
one with the same name. So I want to tweak that later on, but for now, this is fine.
Yep.
The API should be sending back the file name. And I'm trying to remember
But
if
let's have a
we
look in the
have
service
written any
then.
code. Let's do little tab bankruptcy because I don't know where I'm at with these. And we'll shrink this back down and go to our client
Services, I
side.
think. All right.
Pages, theme chooser. This is the page that we're on that looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we have an upload file or upload component that takes the file and sends it off to the upload route.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has an on success method that runs, and we get some event args back. And that has the serialized JSON from the image analysis on it.
Yeah.
Um,
That creates an object, and then you get the properties and stuff from that object, right?
yeah, let's see what else is in args. We got files in here.
Mm.
So if we do file 0, which is good, because this is always taking, even if I drag a bunch of images, it makes one call per image. So it doesn't actually send an array up. So we can reliably say 0 index. And then we can do file. Where's file name? Is it just name their name?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just write that out just for a quick check. Should just be a string, file name. Just default that to nothing. And then let's go ahead and just stick it down here. And we'll say file name equals at file name. Did I make that a public property? I did. Okay.
Yeah, but he never set
Field.
the value of it either.
Yeah, so good point.
So
File name equals args file name.
yeah.
So
Semicolon.
why is
There we go.
the compiler not telling me that?
It's easy for me to sit over here.
You're doing better than the
Backseating to the
compiler,
max.
so all right. So now we should be able to display a file name.
Do you ever use .NET Watch?
We can try it.
Yeah.
If this
I
was
feel like
.NET
that's a
9,
lot
it'd be
easier
more fine.
when I'm dealing with how things look and how
Yeah,
to display it.
Is that working?
And then
these
suddenly
days?
it doesn't work and I go insane.
Is lukewarm reload working?
Yeah, exactly.
.NET 9 is supposed to be fixed, so hopefully
It was supposed to be fixed in 8.
So let's go to Rome this time.
Yeah.
And then we see Rome.jpg. So that means I can do this as, instead of file name,
Mm-hmm.
say ahref equals. Oops, not href. Jeez, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah, image.
Source equals.
Yeah. I never do anything wrong, ever. Now,
Right,
this is going to be a... Yeah, you're putting everything in www root, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
String is not null or white space equals file name.
Here is a potential thing.
Could have made it a nullable, I suppose.
But we don't want to show the image
gonna
tag if it's null. So
yeah.
If we are not in the base folder here, if, for example, you end the URL with a slash, we're going to be looking for that file in the wrong place. So I'm thinking if you could add a slash to the beginning of that URL, to the file name.
All right. So like that.
Yeah. Should work.
And then we'll save this. We'll do a quick, let's see, where's view? View, and then terminal. And we can do .NET run. Oh, I forgot the watch. Do you still have to do the watch?
Nah. Ignore it.
I remember they made that optional or something. What is
Yeah.
it? Being used by
No,
another
you can always
process?
debug
Oh,
as well,
I
right?
already have that going in another.
Oh,
Oh, I picked it up just in time. Cool. Let's see now. Should be. Did it change the URL on me? It did, didn't it? Yeah, it's 5123 now. The port is 5123 because I ran it.
you should have a link in the window.
It's
They
right
can
there.
just control left click.
Oops. I hit Control C. Womp womp. I hate that. Every
Yeah.
console is different.
Yeah. I use the full terminal.
So I should be
Hey,
able to
coding after work. Fancy
click.
seeing you here.
Hey, it's the Ingstrom.
Yeah.
Ingstrom clan is here.
Are we
Let's
calling
see.
in from a train or from the compound?
It is sluggish. Why? Why is this not working? I could see it running in the console.
Yeah.
Oh, it's some kind
Am I
of
frozen again?
HTTP policy redirect failed to determine port for redirect. What? What silliness is that? Oh, I'm running it from the wrong project. That helps.
Yeah.
I just ran the front end and not the back end, so it got really
Oops.
confused.
Never
So
do
it
that.
essentially served up a empty HTML page.
Yeah.
Let's do the let's go to the real
So,
command line. Put in file
so chat,
folder.
am I frozen again?
Your video always freezes. I think it's a streaming thing.
Yeah, but I was on another one and that just worked. Let me put this at standard definition.
.NET Run.
Let's see if that works
Building,
better.
running. Now I can actually click on it. The terminal in Visual Studio. Oh, I did the same thing again, didn't I?
I always use the full.
That
What's
was
it
in the
called?
right one. CD. This is the right
And then
folder.
.NET
This is the
Watch.
server.
Yeah. Building. Everything is built. Something. No, never mind. So we should be starting now.
It won't start up. What is it doing? Taking longer than expected.
HPS redirection middleware.
Okay.
Are you on the HPS port or the HTTP?
Why is it not serving it up as HTTPS?
Good question.
Is there something wrong in our app settings? Or not app settings?
But it worked a
launch?
second ago.
Yeah, from Visual Studio. It launches a different profile.
Remove the image tag.
I think it's something to do with this. Why is it not launching the HTTPS version of it? You could see it in the command line. Watch .NET watch.
Yeah, and it says that it can't bind to the HTTPS.
Oh, now it's going to work.
And now it starts.
That's software development.
Obviously. Yeah.
Did absolutely
all right,
nothing.
Let's see what happens.
And it now just randomly works. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it should show the image now. So we select the
Let's blame
There's
lukewarm. We have an image.
All right. So we displayed the image. So we can check that off our list. Now what we need to do is make this look better. This is junky. So I think what I would like to do is we can go to so we have Telerik.
I have an idea as well.
At our disposal. Please share.
Pills.
Pills we can do. Like chips. Or
Oh
no,
yeah.
those have a little cancel button on them. We don't want those.
Yeah, but I think you have pills as well. Oh, if you don't set the, you can do the ships without the remove button.
Can you?
Yeah. You just don't set
Appearance,
the event, I believe.
selectable, removable. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
And I think that
Looked
looks
for that
well. Well, it
before. I
looks
must have
good.
looked right over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use those.
I used them last week.
And
Yes, saying.
then we've got cards as well. So we could do something
Mm-hmm.
like this. And the cards have building blocks, which is helpful. So
Yeah.
there's like title, subtitle, image, another title, the body, and then there's
And a
button
footer.
bars and a footer. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we put the ships in the footer, I think that would look pretty cool. But let's start out with the card.
Let's go ahead and drop a card on the page. So this is our theme chooser here. And we've got our upload. And then I think we're going to wipe out all of this stuff. I'm just going to
Mm-hmm.
comment it out for now, just to get it off the screen. And then we'll put this card in here. And then let's go ahead and for now we'll say if, what is the thing?
File name,
Image
I think we used.
analysis.
Okay.
We can do the image analysis because we're going to have a lot of stuff besides just the image in there.
Mm-hmm.
Image analysis. Is that correct? No, it's lowercase.
It's
a field.
lowercase. Yeah.
What is your take on fields versus properties? I see people just use properties nonstop in components. When I mean, there's
For everything that's not exposed outwards, always fields, and for
that's
everything
fair.
that is or can be exposed outwards, um, always fields. Sorry, properties.
So we're gonna do is not null here.
The issue is when you're doing this with pages, then it becomes very fuzzy.
Oh, raise your pages.
No, when you're doing it in the page scope, when you're not
Oh, okay.
building a component,
I'm gonna
but you
shut
never
down.
use a property even if you don't mark it as a parameter. It doesn't matter. Never use a property if it's internal.
Yeah. Okay, so it is hot reloading that, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So hot reload is working for us today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what our card looks like so far. And then, actually, I wonder, like we're using the UI accelerators. I wonder if we should look at their cards because I know there's a card on it as well. So if we go to Telerik.com, products, we have these templates and building blocks that we're using. And I know it's adopting some of the styles from this already, but let's see. So documentation.
Yeah, these are really
we're
cool.
using this admin dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, it has compact card.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different cards. It looks like there's some shadows and stuff we're getting from this one. I wonder if we should maybe use the card code from that or.
But I think those are set by the theme they have loaded.
Yeah, there might be a little HTML that surrounds these though. Let's see. Let's see what the code looks like. No license.
No license found is what it looks like.
I pay my bills.
Do you really?
I mean, I get it for free, but all right, let's see what they have in their code here.
Mm-hmm.
I say they, but I mean us. So we're not using the card component for these. We're using.
Are you? Yeah, you're using a list view.
So
and then you're building the rest manually
from scratch. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dashboard card, and then there's a compact card. Neither one are using card component.
That's kind of weird.
but it looks like the card component is getting some of that look and feel. So
Mm.
I'm going to be inclined to keep the card component because we're going to use some of
Yeah.
the outlining mechanisms of it. Like we want the different pieces. Like the header, I think we'll do at image. Oh, it's lowercase. Image analysis. Oh,
But
dot.
that's going to be different every time that we run it. So these will all be shared between all of the cards, even if we have multiple of them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get one up on the screen for
Oh
now.
yeah, yeah. Go
And then
for
we
it.
can kind of make it more larger scope. Just trying
Mm-hmm.
to stub out kind of what this is going to look like since we don't have like a design prototyped out. And I'm getting 0 IntelliSense again, so I'm going to actually stop this hot reload for a minute. This is getting obnoxious, and then reload Visual Studio. If there's a bingo game or a drinking game going on, we have hit the square marked IntelliSense stopped working.
Yeah.
That
You're
happens every show.
really lucky with all of this.
I am. Like, I should be in
Mm-hmm.
QA for Visual Studio Code or Visual
Mm-hmm.
Studio. So I run into all the bugs all of the time.
Mm.
And it could be something I commented out here, but
I mean,
the
it's a
best way to
common.
try to figure this out is to no, now I've got
There we
IntelliSense. There's nothing
go.
I did. Let's see here. Do description, probably not description. Um, we could do the
We have it
file
in file name.
name. Yeah, let's go ahead and
It's not a
do
part
that
of
for
image
now.
analysis.
So it's going to be file name.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think we have a subtitle in this, but we can always add it back if we need it. The image, again, will be file name. It doesn't like the slash, probably.
Yeah.
So we can get
Let's do it that
around
way
that.
first.
Yeah, we could get around that by doing it here. Let's do it even cheaper and easier.
I was just going to say, what kind of animal are you?
Whoops.
Yeah, it needs to be a string. There you go.
Slash. There we are. Give that the preceding slash. Now that'll work. Oh, but
Yeah.
nope, that doesn't work. I don't want to put it here.
No.
So we're going to reuse that then.
Ignore the slash for now. We can deal with that later.
We'll put it in line
Yep.
here. Does that work?
You need to end
I
the
got
string
it.
as well.
I got the quote in the wrong spot and it won't let me click on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it's going to add like 3 more of them.
It's so nice when things just work.
I need to find out where the auto completing of quotation marks and stuff is set, because I hate that feature myself. Why
You
does that
need
not
to
work?
end the source string, and then you need to end the tag or make it a single one.
Oh, oops. Okay, so I hit when I deleted the.
Oh yeah, you need one closing paragraph, or
Because it keeps doubling these things, and then when you go to delete one, it deletes both. There we
Yep.
go. I do not like auto closing quotation marks for that very reason.
You could always try Notepad.
And then it does it not in Notepad, but it does it in other like writing things too. Like Markdown Monster does it. Right. So in our body, we can use the body and say we don't need a second card title either. I know that's a sample that has like all the
Mhm.
kitchen sink in it, but we don't need all of that. Image analysis. Can't have analysis without. I won't go there. Let's see.
If I look
Description.
down, there should be a description. Yeah. And that should
All
have
right.
a captions, which then has a text. If I look
Oh,
at
is
line
it's
38,
description,
I'm cheating.
captions, text. No, this is great. Text.
Yeah,
Text?
caption
Oh,
is an
0.
array. Yeah.
Good deal. I've given up on the Razor editor, Fuel Snapple says.
Yeah.
I
Not
think
going to be
that
too negative, but it is kind of
I love
crap.
Blazor, but I agree
Oh, yeah.
that's the worst part of
Yeah.
Blazor right now.
Yeah. Hey, Aztec.
I like to put my p tags on separate lines like this.
Yeah.
Just pet
Yeah,
peeve.
so do I.
So we've got the description.
I'm really hoping for what I think is Studio 1711. But
I'm gonna take the card
still,
footer
you're
off
using the
unless
preview a lot, right?
you can think. I don't have preview now.
No.
I have. Let's see, just to make sure. I took preview
Yeah, all
off my
right.
system because preview broke everything.
Yeah. But the
It
preview might be 1712. I'm not sure
there
about the exact version.
there's a
The next one is coming next week.
whole show that got deleted because when I put preview
I
on my
remember
system,
that.
it borked
It
all
borked
of my
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Nothing would compile
Mm-hmm.
in any version of Visual Studio or command line.
Yeah.
But according to some folks, that doesn't happen. Anyhow, I digress. So we've got card actions. We're going to fill some stuff in here, but not yet. We've got the text. We want to put some tags in here too, right?
Yeah.
What was that thing we saw? The chip
Yeah, the ship.
list. Make sure removable is disabled. False.
I'm down to
And then
360p on my camera, and now it seems to have frozen again.
data.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a StreamYard thing, to be honest. You said you were on StreamYard earlier, or just a stream?
I was on StreamYard last week,
Were
and
you
it worked
hosting?
fine. Yes.
Okay, so that might be
Well, I was
different
co-hosting,
because
so
it's hosting under my profile, so it might be on a different region.
yeah,
So there might be some latency with the
could
video.
be, could be.
So we got tags, and then
Yeah, that should be good enough.
tags. Is there a
It's
property
a
on
list.
tags though? Because they're name, right? We don't want if we just do tags, it's going to give us some weird
Yeah, no, it's going to give you the
.NET
list of
object.
tags, and then you set the
Is there a name
let's see,
property thing?
text property. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Text property.
Text field
I feel like you know these
is the
components
one.
better than I do at this point.
I was using them just a few weeks ago.
I like it.
There you go.
Makes me
And that's
happy.
just a name. That's a string name of the property.
Or is okay, just wrong button. Name. Like just name.
Yeah.
I don't think you can use
And
name
that
of there, can
should
you?
be it, I think.
Can you use name of? I'm just curious. Name of, and then
You can use the class type and use name, and it will
that
only
would be a
give you
long.
the property name, not the entire
Yeah,
thing.
it's gonna be a long thing too. Let's
Yeah.
just say name. Let's just be easy.
Mhm.
And then this can be self-closing because we're
Yep.
not putting anything else in there. So that should look nice.
Yeah, I hope so.
One more thing we need is we'll do the color in a minute.
Hmm.
Let's
get
actually
something up there first.
Yeah, let's see if this runs, and then we'll add the color. How does that
Yeah.
sound? Let's go back to the command line here. Source repos should be Where's this repo living? It should be Chris and Ed's AI Funhouse, but where's the full path? Copy full path. How
Open
about
in
that?
terminal.
Let's do copy full path cd slash. Oops, that's a long path.
Yeah.
Really?
Ed,
Oh,
go
it's
back
got the
to
solution.
studio.
It's got the solution. What's that?
No, go back to studio. The issue is that you have a space in AI show, so you
Oh,
need
really?
paragraph signs around it. But you can also open the terminal at a folder straight from studio.
Yeah. Gotta.
Yeah.
I did that earlier. So many
Hmm.
things to jump through.
Yeah.
Dot. Watch. I was trying to make it quick, and I made it longer, I think.
It happens. I need to set up a
What is?
better
Oh, I got a bunch of
terminal
nullable
prompt, by
stuff.
the way.
We can go back and fix nullables in a little bit.
Yeah. I've got a brand new project, and the first thing I did was create nullable warnings all over the place.
You know, there's a
Come on,
flag you can
look at
set
it.
that will
And
make those errors
yeah,
instead
just
of
go
warnings.
away. Oh, yeah, you can also make them go away. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
yeah. You can turn
Yeah,
them off real easy, which
yeah,
is what a lot of people actually do.
yeah,
A lot of people do that.
yeah.
Let's see.
So you know my main project that I'm doing on doing publicly.
What's that?
I added nullability to existing code. So I think I have something like 850 warnings.
Never
But
do that.
I'm going to be fixing them. That's why I want the warnings.
So
So
this
yeah,
is
we have
actually,
the ships.
yeah, this is actually a problem that a lot of people have, is they have old code bases and they're enabling these things, and it looks like a nightmare to fix.
Yeah,
So I've got a course coming for Dome Train next year to help people get through all of that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so there's all of our tags nicely
yeah,
listed out. A lake surrounded by mountains is the description.
yeah,
So the description looks good. It's a lot of tags.
yeah,
We might
yeah.
want to do something with that later to kind of
Yeah.
clean it up a little bit.
Do we have a
Um,
score on the tags?
a score, we do. That's a good
Yeah, so you can
idea.
do a
I
where.
like where
You
you're
could
heading
do
with
that
this.
straight in data if you want to.
You could do tags dot
Where?
um
Make it a lambda, a link.
order by, are they already ordered? Let's put this back up for a minute.
Maybe.
Let's see what they look like real fast. So we have the code to display those. Let's do that, and then we'll write out tag colon tags dot score
Confidence, right?
confidence. Yes. Let's see what order they come out in.
Yeah.
And then what we could do, is this still hot reloading? It
Yes, it
is.
is.
They're
That,
already ordered.
yeah, looks like it.
So we could take like the top 5 or 10.
Yep.
And we would do that
That'd
with
be,
tags dot
yeah,
take 10. And that should give us the best 10,
yeah,
right?
shorter list. It did.
There we go. We could do like a show more type situation too if we wanted to improve
Hmm.
that later. Cool. Nice idea, man.
Sometimes.
Is
Is
that like whenever I
is
do
the
that,
English expression a blind hen?
I was gonna say like the monkey behind a keyboard types of word.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's too mean. I wasn't trying to be mean to you.
Nah, it's fine. It's a Swedish
We
expression. I'm not sure
make
if it's the
jokes.
same in English, but it's a blind, even a blind hen will find a corn.
You are more on top of it today than I am, so I shouldn't be making any kind of jokes or assumptions. It's so Friday for me. I'm so tired.
Uh,
Yet you're further into
it,
your day than I am.
Yeah, it's
My
half
excuses
past
are
five
falling
here.
flat here. So
It's the morning for you.
it was an election week for us. Give me
Yeah,
give me some
yeah.
slack. Oh man. So let's see. We've got the tags showing. What else can we add to this? The color. We're missing the color.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
for the color, I'm
there is a
thinking.
subtitle, right? You have the header and then you have a title after that, card title or something. I'm just
Yeah, we
guessing
do have
here.
a subtitle, but color, I think we should show colors. So I'm
Oh yeah,
thinking
make the entire card that color.
we could do that, but we also have let's see here. I'm gonna go into the body, and in the body, I'm gonna do it right here. We have a Telerik color palette, and it has a colors um, property, and it will display any colors that we add to that property.
So it
And
would be a
why?
list of colors.
What is it
I've never
doing?
used this one.
What is this?
It's I think it's
Is
because
it
you have
because I don't
the
have a color here?
yeah. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, it's just angry
Did
at
we
that.
not just mention that the Razer editor and Razer
Yeah, why is it
IntelliSense is
highlighting from
maybe not the
here?
absolute best?
Alrighty.
You know,
So,
back when I was coding C++ in was it VC60, you did like something wrong at one line, but the error message appeared like 50 lines down and didn't in any way reference to where the actual error was. It was like, yeah, it could drive you insane. But we are talking about software from the 90s, so maybe I should
so
give it a break.
I'm gonna temporarily say new and throw this in parentheses or brackets and see if it
What's the type of accent color?
new. It doesn't like that either. New list of string. Does not like that either.
Don't you need to wrap that in
Oh, and
parentheses? I believe you do.
at parens.
There we
There we
go.
go. Like I said, you're way better at this than I am.
Oh no. I've seen you, when you're doing something and you ask a question and you come back like 5 minutes later with this huge just this is how you do it.
My chat GPT was working that day.
Yeah. So where is our color?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to have picked up
Should
the
put it
let's do
above the ship list.
yeah, it should have been. Let's try a
Yeah.
restart just to make sure that
That's
it's not the
probably it.
good old .NET Watch problem.
Yeah. It's the standard thing.
And then okay, it's reloading our browser. I'm going to
Yeah.
close these out.
Yeah.
And then we'll do choose a image. We'll just grab the first one. And that was interesting.
When did yeah.
Let's try that again. Oh, wow. We got a whole
Yeah.
new problem.
Yeah. If you just
Um,
remove the color palette,
the
you
color
see if we can
palette
get it
should
working.
work. Oh,
Yeah.
why is that not work? Why did it cause the whole page to reload?
I have no idea.
That is funky. Uh,
Let's see what happens.
select a file, load it up. Okay,
Oh, same
what
thing.
is going on here? It's navigating away now. What is
We
this
have
garbage?
the Blazer MVP in our chat. It does upload the file,
Yeah.
and it actually hot reloads in the new file. So we know that we're ending up there.
What?
And then for some reason, we're ending up on the page without the data. Just debug it.
I don't
Run it with
see
F5.
like
Ignore watch.
it
Because
was
we're back at
working
code that
with.
we know works. No,
Yeah,
that works. We know
should
that this
work.
works.
It should work. So we'll do .NET Watch again.
Yeah, if this doesn't work, then run the debug. I've actually had once where .NET Watch actually started because it got an error, but what it did was it fell back to the previous binary.
Yeah.
So .NET Watch said that everything is A-OK and works, and then I
It's
tried debugging
rerouting.
running it inside of Studio, and it blew up.
It's like it's rerouting though. It's like
Yeah.
I hit this and then
Now we're
boom.
still on
Like,
the same themes user page.
but
But yeah, we're kind of navigating back to it.
it reloaded the whole app.
Yeah. Debug it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
stop this thing. I'm gonna close that terminal altogether. Come back
Mm-hmm.
here and rebuild the solution. It's just to make sure there's no errors in it.
Warnings, rebuild. Two succeeded. All right.
Actually, let's go nuclear on this real quick. Let's take out. Come on.
Kill the images.
Why am I not? Oh,
Or what
maybe
are we
I'll just do
after?
it this way. Hang on. Folder view. Hidden files. Bin object. Delete.
Yeah.
Bin object. Delete.
I did not know you could do this in Studio. Today
Hey,
I
I taught
learned.
something new.
Yeah.
Something you didn't know today.
Yeah.
You're like 2 steps ahead of me the whole show. Finally got a teaching moment. I've learned a
You
lot
know,
though.
it's always easier to backseat. All right. $5 is gonna work. Will you bet against it?
So that was weird. The URL was different.
Oh yeah,
Oh no,
it
there it
uses a
is.
different
Okay,
port.
it's using the title.
Yeah. And
And
it
it works
works.
now.
Told you. You never
Total
bet against
random.
me, so
It's
yeah.
something to do with the watch.
Yeah.
So that means I can come back to my component.
I think we're on the server, aren't we? No, there. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna
Right.
re-add the palette.
And the palette component. Color palette. Colors. And this is temporary, by the way, because we're gonna need more than one color to make a theme, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is image. Oh wait, new. List of string. And then we'll throw in at image analysis. How the text is all overlapping here. Accent color. And then we need to close this tag.
Mm-hmm. Is that really at colors? I'm not sure. I could be way off.
That should not be at colors. I don't know if I typed that just out of muscle
You
memory or
typed
what.
it. You even said it.
Did I?
Yeah.
That's
all right.
for you. Let's close that and reload it. We're gonna do
Now
manual
I'm
reloading
less
for now.
certain that it'll work.
It keeps shoving it on my other monitor too, where I can't see. There we go. Theme chooser, select a file. And if Eagle, who is also streaming
it works,
right now, but it isn't.
But we don't have a color picker. Well, we did have a.
It's
there.
It's there.
I think it doesn't have any content though. Yeah, but.
Oh wait, I bet I know what it is. Did you
Ah,
see
there
what
we
I
go.
just did, folks?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a formatting issue.
yeah. So accent
So it
color is a
needs
string.
well, it needs the hash in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, $sign. Let's see, or quotation mark. That.
There we go.
There.
You need to end the
Come on, let me click.
interpolated string as well.
Yeah, I'm
One
trying
more
to
back.
click and it keeps putting symbols in my face.
Yeah.
Not there. Where's it go?
You're right where you were. And
right
then
here.
you need another ending
It keeps
squiggly.
putting two of them.
Yeah, another squiggly. And then, yeah, you have the parentheses. There we go.
It's doing that thing again where it kept putting extra quotes where I didn't need them.
And it only does it in the eraser editor, I think.
I don't know. It's a me thing. I think it's a bug
No,
that
it does the same
follows
thing
me
for me.
around.
Nope, that's the same
Did
thing
this
here.
reload? I can't tell if it reloaded.
I'll give it a maybe.
Which browser
That
is
one
it?
did not reload.
We're going to play the game of how many instances of the application can we run?
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's
But
also
if
typical
Eagle
of
were
me. I
watching, he'd
end
be
up
like, just
with
write
can't write
units.
this binary.
There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, so we have a color.
Again, another interesting pick. It looks like it chose it from like this section here.
Yeah.
This is a cool restaurant, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned it on the last show. This is in Bulgaria. I've actually been here.
So it's your
It's,
own picture?
I think I grabbed that one off the web, but that's a restaurant that's the Rakia Rocket Bar. It's picking, again, those red tones. It really loves the reds.
Yeah.
Definitely going to get red there, right?
Yeah.
Butterfly?
It's not
Butterfly's
reloading
red.
it.
Come on.
It's not reloading it. It's the first
Is it?
color that we got.
Well,
So it's updating the...
no, it's reloading. It's just the AI is aggressively picking red tones.
Oh,
Oh, look, we got a blue that time.
that's weird.
It really likes those red tones, man.
Yeah.
There we go. We're getting somewhere. It's definitely gonna be red with that one, right? No!
No, all of a sudden it's blue.
There's no rhyme or reason to this. This is the Azure AI Vision API, by the way.
That one is
It's picking
correct.
these. Yeah, that one
Maybe
feels
a bit
correct.
dark, but
Feel like their Azure AI could use a little bit of. I see why I figured it'd get red or brown off of that one. It picked the sky color.
yeah.
I wonder if it has something to do with the tags as well. We didn't really look
It's
at
also
that, did
saying
we?
a group of...
What was it? A
What
group
is that?
of people in clothing.
Yeah.
These are kookaburra. Trying to get the right pronunciation of it.
I mean,
They're
sure, there's
cookies.
people, but they look more cosplay.
Kookaburra. It's like a holiday character in Bulgaria. I lifted a lot of these images from our demo site. But I wonder, like, if I were to grab that picture again. So sky is the first thing, even though there's all these flowers, sky is the first item that it identified with the highest what's the
confidence.
term? Confidence. So it looks like it might be picking it from that. Does that make sense? Like,
not really.
No, moths and butterflies, animal, insect, but yet it seems to have picked the color from the flower right behind it.
Yeah. Might think that those are part of the antennae or something.
Yeah, it could be seeing those as one. That, and I still think it has a preference for reds.
Oh, yeah. Reds and browns.
Outdoor, so didn't get it from that. Furniture's up there, though. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything on the red spectrum seems to really have an affinity for.
If we start adding, the secondary colors, maybe it'll make a little bit more sense.
So
I
there
mean, this is
are
just the
other
main color,
colors
right?
in here. However, there's a caveat to them. So if we go in right now at image analysis dot color dot, there's a dominant foreground and a dominant background color.
Yeah, have a look at that one.
There's also dominant colors.
Yeah, but that's just a list, which is great.
And
Bind to that,
then
and then do a select and add the hash. Now go remove the entire new list,
oh yeah, I see what you mean.
all of it.
Let's take a look at what's there at image analysis dot color dot accent color,
Yes.
dominant colors.
Yeah, and then do a
Select.
select. Perfect.
Come on, don't auto complete me.
Again.
Quit auto completing me.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you close that parenthesis off, it'll make it a little more intelligent.
Barely.
It's painful, but it's stopping it from throwing erroneous errors all over the place.
Yep. Nice, just C. That's a string.
Like that. It's not highlighting it correctly, I think, but I think we got it.
Yeah.
It's just Razor being Razor at that point. Try
No, it's
again.
not even Razor. It's the Razor editor. As I said, I'm really hoping for 1712. I said 11 before, but you know what I meant.
Hopefully this is the new version here. Yeah, we didn't get anything back. Why?
Huh. Hash white.
Color white.
Hash black. All right, so suddenly
So
we
we've
are
got
no longer
one
using
color and
hex
it's just white.
codes.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. I knew there was something with it. I said there was a caveat. That's what it was. The accent colors are named colors for some reason. Or the non-accent colors, the dominant colors. So even
Can you
if we
loop over
did,
the entire colors? Does that class?
so we've got,
If you remove dominant colors, does it inherit from enumerable or list?
color is an object, and it has accent color string,
Yeah.
dominant color string,
But
dominant color
is it an array
foreground.
as well?
I don't see it as an array now, or dominant
Try it.
colors. That was the one we just bound to.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's an array or a list or something. I was thinking if the entire color object also inherited from
Let's
like
try
iList or iCollection.
Try another one.
Yeah. Now we need to remove the hash.
Let's see what it came up with.
Oh,
Hashtag green.
green.
It's very general. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's green, it's blue, it's red, it's white, it's yellow. It's
Yeah.
going to pick like primary colors, not specifics.
Yeah. So that's unusual.
That would be helpful in
unusable.
a classification. Like you could add that to your tags.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say, give me green images, and it's a good generalization of these contain green somewhere. So I think I see where that could be useful, but not for what we're trying to do. So we want to go back to our accent color.
Yeah.
Right
Even if
there.
it's not great, it's somewhere to start at least.
All right. Let's see. So we've got an accent color.
Yeah, I think we need to re-upload the image as well, plus hot reload or restart.
So what we'll probably need to do is, let's see, get this back over here. Select a file, grab one of these guys. That's
And
what
we
it
have
looks
red.
like. A red is there, but red on its own isn't going to help us theme an entire app.
No, but I'm
So,
gonna guess that the next color is gonna be blue or black.
but what I would like to do with this is be able to select this image and this color and make a theme out of it.
Yeah.
So we could have a button on here that we can select this and it'll like we didn't share this on the air. So try to find the link to what I sent you earlier. Let me see if I could pull Slack up and find that link. Unless you have it handy to the office announcement.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Give
if you can
me
grab that and
one
share it in the
second and
private
I'll grab
chat.
it. I'll have to post it in private chat though.
Yeah, I've got my monitor shared and I don't like
Yeah.
to pull up Slack
Yeah.
on
I
stream
have
just
it
in
right
case
there, if you can see it.
there's NDA stuff in there. So this was just announced on the social medias this morning. Uh, Microsoft Outlook has a new feature that falls very close to what we're doing. And this is for Office. So evidently what you'll be able to do in Office is go through like a little wizard and you can say, I want to pick a theme based on weather or what was the other option they had in there? Location. Um, so there's basically some prompts that you pick. Weather,
Mm-hmm.
realistic, refreshes every hour. You could say light, dark, time of day, that type of thing. And then Copilot will generate an image for the background, select a accent color from it, and then create a theme for your app based on that. And I think that's something that we could accomplish pretty easily once we
Oh,
get this
I mean,
done.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's kind of what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
They gave me some other ideas though where we could bake in a prompt. So right now we're
Mm-hmm.
we're saying upload an image from your personal files and we'll create a theme based on that image. But what we could
Mm-hmm.
actually do in like a later version is we could either upload an image or we can say, I don't have an image, and then go off to Gen AI, like one of the open AI models like DALL-E or something, with a pretty handy prompt to generate something based on like a couple knobs, right?
Yeah.
And then take the colors out of that image and apply a theme from
Ah. Ah, now I'm getting it.
it.
Huh?
So we could do this. We could actually
Yeah.
do this in our own app. Um, how we're going to do this is if we inspect this page
Mm-hmm.
and we come up to the HTML tag and look at the root CSS. See all of these little double dash things for folks at home that may not know what that means. These are
Yeah.
CSS variables. And if we choose the right one, like color primary here, I can theme my whole site
Mm-hmm.
with that color. But notice when I hover right here under choose theme, that was just one variable that we addressed. So there's other
Yep.
variables that need to fall in line with that color theme. We can't just change one to red and expect everything to work. We need to do some calculations and apply a palette across this
Yeah.
set of variables.
Yeah.
So
CSS
that's
custom properties. Nitpicking from Blazer
exactly
Mr. Magoo.
CSS
And
custom
I
properties are
have
amazing.
to say something, I'm not going to say negative, but an issue, and that is that styling the Kendo and Blazor parts and all the parts without the theme builder is difficult, might be the wrong word, but
Yeah,
annoying.
there's a lot of variables in there, is what it
Yeah,
is. I feel like,
there are.
but So there's
In this case, it's not going to
multiple
work since
ways
we're
to
doing it
tackle it,
dynamically,
right?
but
So the thing is, it's a complex issue for one.
mhm.
So we need, I mean, this is a necessity to have all of these variables.
Oh, 100%.
So there's no way of really getting around this other than using tooling. And there's 125 properties total.
Yeah,
They literally build out the entire design system for this.
yeah.
So you have 125 plus properties that define the design system.
Hmm.
And in doing that, you have to either have um, some type of custom code,
Yeah.
or you have to have a build system like SAS,
Hmm.
or you have to have a WYSIWYG editor like Theme Builder.
Yeah.
But with all of those things, you have multiple levels of control. So
Yeah.
if you have folks that want to work from a designer perspective, you can import
Hmm.
from Figma and you can use Theme Builder. If you have developers that are tasked with this and they're not the designer mindset, they can use
Yeah.
SAS and plug in the values from
Mm.
uh, the Figma sketches they might have. And if you're
What
just
what
winging it
Snobba
like
said
me,
there is what would happen if you didn't have 125 variables. Would be what you get is what you get. I mean, if you just had, color theme, that would mean that if we change that, it would change everywhere. And on these 125 variables give you granularity.
yeah. And then, of
And that's a
course,
good thing.
there's for people that are, just building, say, proof of concept, or they have a very limited team and they don't have time to focus on any of that stuff I just mentioned. You can always come into your library. And then, of course, it's going to be slow while I'm trying to stream. And I'm just going to go into demos. It's really easier to
Yeah.
find it in here. There are swatches that you can
Yeah.
just grab. So you don't have time to do all the customization stuff. You can say, well, I want a dark theme at least. So you can
Hmm.
choose main dark and just run with that.
Yeah.
So there's varying degrees of customization that we offer.
Yeah.
But
And you can start from that and then start adding your own as well.
we're going to go super programmatic here.
Yeah.
And
No, but I mean, normally when you use it, you can start from the dark theme and then change the red to another color, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And since they're all CSS variables now, this is all web standard stuff. So that's what's nice about it. It's not a proprietary thing that we
Hmm.
invented. Like this, we're just relying on CSS, inherent browser stuff.
Hmm.
So what we're gonna do um, next, let me think here, because we need to come up with a palette.
We're still on the data grid overview
Oh yeah, we need to
over
come
here.
up with a palette. Sorry, I thought I had Visual Studio up.
It's fine.
Um, and I'm trying to think what we could do to kind of make that palette work. We're gonna have to rely, since we're doing this all dynamically, we can't run it through
Hmm.
Theme Builder. We don't want to use a preprocessor because that won't let us do things in real time. We're going to need to do some sort of calculations. And
Yeah.
to do
What
those
happens if we just have
calculations,
a style field, like directly in the code here, and then just set the value of a variable to accent color? I'm really bad when it comes to isolation and such here, but I think if you just use a style tag directly in the razor file, it will not scope to this component. It'll go global, which means you should
yeah.
be able to change the color value of the variable.
So what we can
I'm guessing
do
here.
is these colors will obey the CSS rules. Okay. So we select this, right? And then let's do the balloon just so we have something other than red for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our yellow color here. And in here, I'm setting this directly as an inline style for this piece.
Yeah.
So if we look, I've got my H3, I've got an inline style. You can see that right here in the code. So this is an inline style. It's going to override any coloring from anything in the CSS. We don't want to do that specifically. What we want to do instead is we want to override variables. And there's a couple ways to do it. And the nice thing about variables, the CSS custom property variables, is they embrace the cascading feature of CSS. So the C in CSS is obeyed. So if I were to come into my document anywhere below root and redefine one of these variables, then depending on the hierarchy in the document, it will change that variable. So if I were to come
now
in,
I'm learning things.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
If I were to come in here, let's see, inspect this card. The card has, trying to find something that's actually colored. The card doesn't have a border.
Snobble, then you said it at root.
I thought the card had a border. Oh, there it is. K card border color is transparent. So we don't have a border color on this one. But if we did, it would be, well, like, technically we do. It's just transparent. Kendo color border is the variable. So you can see that up here. So Kendo color border, if I were to, let's go to this card again.
That's a really weird transparent though.
I'm going to come up to the containing parent element up here. And then let's do this and do edit attributes. Nope, not that one. I want to do edit. How about add attribute? There we go. That'll work. Style equals dash Kendo. What did I just say it was? Kendo border card number?
Good question.
I just had it.
Kendo border. Color Kendo minus color minus border is what we're dealing with.
Equals let's see, 00366 should be something different. And it disappeared. Why did my style disappear? I hit
if you
add
go
attribute,
up to
style.
the top on the right side, you can add inline styles there.
On the right hand side, up there? That's a.
If you go up,
that's gonna add a.
Scroll it up. No, scroll up on the right side. The absolute top there, above all of the others, you have element style, and you can just click there.
That's gonna be a class.
Nope.
Which
it's an inline style.
Okay, let's do that. Element style equals dash Kendo. Oh, it has IntelliSense too.
Yeah. Color. First.
Why did it
color dash though? Border.
Oh. Okay, there we go. Let's just do red. Let's see if it does red. There we go.
And there we go.
Now everything within that containing parent has that red outline. But notice, like, outside of it, nothing got that red outline. It may not have the red outline, but chances are it just isn't there. So we could also do Kendo primary or color primary red. And for some reason,
I don't think we're using that inside of the.
Let's try. Whoops. Kendo color. I don't want to do app surface. I want There's not dark, base, error, info.
Need to find the color that we're actually using. How about the
Active.
blue in the copyright field? Which one's that?
That's the thing. Oh, that's what it is. I selected something that's not in any of it.
Yeah, that we're not
Um,
using.
color. The info's not even there. Let's just do base. Okay, there. That one uses base, but nothing else outside of it got changed. So that you can see like it gets scoped within that green box on the screen. Everything that's within it is getting that variable. Everything outside of it gets the old variable. So we
Yep.
can actually scope these if we want to.
If we set it on colon root and then have an important on it, we can also retheme the entire application, right?
Right. So if we move that scope all the way to the top of the app, we can retheme the entire application.
Yeah.
But we need more than one variable and we need a palette because it's just going to be one solid color if we don't do that. So I've got a little snippet of code that's going to help us with that. And if I can just find my other browser again. Did it go? Did I close it? Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. Got it here. We need a library that is one of my own. We're going to come into dependencies and do add NuGet package because we're going to be building a big inline style and we're going to want help with that because without this, it's a lot of concatenating and string building and that's no fun.
No.
So we want to do a Blazor component utilities.
Spelled component wrong. Root component.
Is my spelling that bad? I need to scope my packages better.
Yeah.
Component utilities. Blazor component utilities. We're going to download that.
1.93 million downloads.
It's pretty popular.
That's respectable.
It's pretty popular.
Yeah.
It's one of those little libraries that just solves a lot of problems. And it's very lightweight. There's it's like 1 kilobyte or less. It's all struct based. So it's very memory resilient. We just need to import it. I'm going to just drop it in here for now. Using Blazor component utilities. And then with that.
Oh my goodness. Your CI/CD pipeline has run 1.93 million times.
That's a lot. Let's see. So we're going to come into our code now, and we need to do. Let's see here. So we're going to need several things. We've got Kendo color, primary. I'm just going to kind of list these out just so we can look at them here. We've got Kendo color primary, hover or subtle hover. There's like a lot of these things.
Yeah.
So like these are all the Kendo variables that really make up the bulk of the theme. So I'm just kind of copying these out. And if you're wondering where these come from, you can essentially see them here doing inspect and do HTML. They're going to be, mainly the ones from here down.
And if you want to know which ones you're using, you can just look at that specific tag as well. And you can see what variables you're using there. So if you click on like one of the divs down there, change the scope, you can see, which more classes it uses.
Yeah. And then some of them are, used by other
Oh yeah, I
things too.
mean it'll change in more places, but you can see which ones you need to change in this
Yeah.
specifically.
And you can also look in the documentation. These are all
Yep.
listed in the docs and in Theme Builder as well. But I'm just
Mm-hmm.
kind of dropping them in here so we have a
Yep.
reference to them.
Theme Builder is great,
So I'm kind of just
in my
copying
opinion.
them off of another window over here. And then we're going to do some CSS. We're going to have to do some
Mm-hmm.
CSS because this is um, oh, wrong screen. CSS has some new features. So without those new features, this would not be possible. And one of those things is we can construct colors at runtime. So let's go back to the browser real quick. Let's just pick a color off of here. What's this one? I want something that's going to be visible to everybody. This drawer item here is using Kendo Color Primary.
Mm-hmm.
So Kendo Color Primary is this blue color. If I were to go and see, where can I kind of just hack away at this? Let's go up to HTML again. Let's try that thing we did earlier. Element style. Let's add.
Yeah, there
Add
you go.
another style here. We could say Kendo Color Primary. Let's try red again. Okay, see that changed a couple things.
Yeah. Yep.
What if we did this instead? And we could say color mix. And we can bring in, we can do this in different formats. We got sRGB and then comma. And now we can take two colors. So we could say red and blue. And notice what that just did.
Nice. Nice.
And you're probably thinking, like, why is that important? Well, now we can take and make a palette because we can take two colors
Yeah.
and mix them.
Yep.
So what we're going to need to do is change some of these colors to a color mix, but rather than specify them directly. All right, so
Just so that you know, if you're using CMYK, no matter which colors you go between, you will almost certainly end up with brown. Because that's a color wheel, right? If you go through the middle, it'll be bad.
So
I have this issue at a customer's.
Yeah, when you mix all colors, you get brown a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and if you go among like in a line between two colors, it goes badly as well. So what you need to do is go around the color wheel.
So let's see. We want to build out a color palette.
Mm-hmm. I can't see the code, by the way. We're in.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. We want to build out a color palette, and we want to take. Trying to remember how to do this the right way. We want to take the accent color that we get from the service, and then we want to set that to our Kendo theme colors. So what's really cool is we can go into, all right, so let's start here. When we get our card palette,
yeah,
we want to use the existing palette. Click, string array palette. And then let's make that variable. So we're going to pull these variables now. We're going to say kendo color primary. Let's see. We need another one. Kendo color primary subtle.
You spelled subtle wrong.
Oh, thank you. Get active. We've got primary subtle, primary. Let's see, I've got them here. Primary subtle active. I'm trying to think of the most important ones that are going to give us a good visualization here. And then the var keyword is a function in CSS that will pull the variable out of memory for us.
Yeah.
So for those of you that were on the fence about CSS being a programming language,
it's added tons of stuff in that direction.
It's
not even going to say lately because this has been around for quite a while, but it is awesome.
It is a programming language now.
Yeah.
Whether you thought so
you're missing ending parentheses on 78 and 79. Up 2. Up 1. There we go.
And that one. Oh, it's on the wrong. No. Let's see.
No, it's right now, I think.
This needs a ending curly there, or a semicolon. So these are kind of the main ones, and then we'll do, wrong button. Set that one in the middle. Because what this is, the primary subtle active, these are the two lighter in the palette. Then this is the primary color, and then these are darker, generally speaking. It doesn't have to be that way, but for most cases, that's going to be what it is.
Yeah, I mean, subtle, light.
I'm going to take this palette and replace this one. So we're not going to pull the data out of the service just yet. I'm just going to show you what that looks like. Let's do a Control F5. Doesn't matter what the picture looks like. We're just going to get the standard palette.
Yep. We're just filling the Telerik color palette with the variable values, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so they're going to be blue. No matter what the image is, they're going to be blue because it's just grabbing whatever's in CSS. So just for sanity's sake, I chose something very green just to show that it's not getting it from the image yet, but it's showing a palette.
Yep.
So that's where that palette component comes in handy because it shows the full.
Yeah, it can show a whole list.
And it accepts CSS variables, which I think is really cool. Like it's a HTML native thing that it's doing, even though it's Razor, C# code. We're not using some weird, color descriptor that doesn't exist in HTML. It's using the native web standard features, right? It's not like not trying to throw it under the bus, but native development. If you're doing something like this in like XAML or whatever, I have no clue what goes on in that side of the fence.
I've done it. You can do it.
You can do it.
It's quite painful, but it's usually how you do it.
Yeah. But you can see the theme that's being used on the whole site now.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do next is override this somehow. So if we go in to, where's it getting this from? www root, common, nope, not reset CSS dashboard, health. It still says healthcare
Mm.
because
Yeah, that's where you
we
started.
pulled
So.
it. Yeah, this was our starting thing. So now we've got our color system and we want to look for a couple specific colors in here. And we've got these ones. All right, so try to keep these in mind. We can do a little split
Mm-hmm.
window. That'll make it a lot easier, right? So we want Kendo color primary.
Could you minimize your Solution Explorer? It would be easier to see on the left side. I mean,
Oh,
remove
yeah,
the panel.
get that
Yeah.
down. We can bump that up just a little bit too.
Yep.
So Kendo color primary. And then, let's see. So that one actually isn't going to change, but let's go ahead and look for it. Color primary.
Yeah, we have it there.
So
Yep.
there's the primary color. That one's fine. That one is the base color for there is a variable called base, but that's for the base of the application. So this is generally like a bright
Yeah.
color. If you're doing a light theme, it's going to be a white or an off-white. If it's dark theme, it's going to
Yeah.
be a dark gray to nearly black. So this isn't in the sense of colors, the base
Mm.
color.
So the base color is
Primary is going
basically
to
your
be,
canvas.
yeah,
Could we say that?
that's
Yeah.
an excellent term for it, is your canvas color. The primary color is going to be the widgets, the buttons, the things you have that accent color on. I
Yeah.
prefer accent color, but it's color primary in here. So that's what
Yeah.
we're going to use. That one remains pretty much unchanged, right? I mean, we're going to set that one, and then we want these other colors to follow suit. So we need the subtle active, primary color, subtle active. Oh, there it is. And it's right above it. And subtle. And subtle hover is in there too. We might want to address that one as well. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of using hard-coded colors like we have
Mm-hmm.
here, we've got primary, subtle active. Subtle active is going to be slightly darker. No, wait. Got the wrong one. Slightly.
No, I think subtle active should be slightly darker than subtle, right? I think that
Let's
sounds
see.
like a good idea.
I've got notes.
No,
So
actually, if I
the
look at these, subtle active is actually lighter. You have C7 versus A2. You have E3 versus
I thought I had it
DO
scaled.
is actually. Oh, never mind. I'm looking at.
So if we look back at the running page,
Yeah.
from left to right, the lighter color is primary subtle, subtle active, primary. So this is
Mm-hmm.
light to dark. So like primary hover, for example, it's one below
Yeah.
this, needs to be a little bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do is take this color out. Instead of using hard-coded color, we can say var, and then we're going to say, wait, no, not var. We start with color
Yeah, we're
mix,
mixing, right?
and
Yeah.
then we're going to say in, and you could use different color profiles here if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So we're going to say RGB. We're going to do this as an RGB color.
You can do an
And
RGBA and such, right?
yeah,
That's
you
one
can
of your
use
options.
any of those things. There's HCL, there's a bunch of them. Color dash primary. So we're going to take the primary color and mix it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to mix it with white.
So that would make it lighter, yeah.
So that's going to make that lighter. And then we've got, let's see, that was primary hover. Oh, sorry, I wanted it darker. So that should have been black.
Oh.
My bad.
Can you add the mix ratio?
You can. So
Yeah.
for that one, we're going to go with black. And then for active, which is going to be even darker, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say color primary, and then we're going to
A
say black.
blacker.
And then we're going to go with 75% of black.
All right.
So we're
Yeah.
adding more black. So initially, when you saw me do red and blue, it was equal parts red and blue made purple.
Yeah.
Now we're doing primary color and black. So it's going to be 50% black, right? Equal parts, primary
Gotcha.
color and black. The next one is going to be, we're specifying now, we don't want equal parts. We want Kendo primary and 75% of the black. So 25% primary, 75% black.
But I'm also guessing here they could use the active. You could use the hover as a variable in the color mix for active as well, right?
Yeah, you could cascade
If you
them
want to,
that way too.
reuse that and just, okay, so I want to take my hover color and make it darker again, you could actually do that as well.
I think you can. I think there's, I'm trying to remember if there was a catch with that or not.
I mean, you're reading a variable. I
There,
don't know. It's
it's an
just
order
a
of
random
operations
thing that I
thing. I'm
saw
trying to
and
remember
thought
if
about.
that works or not. We can try it and see what happens, but I believe there was some sort of issue overriding that type of thing. Yeah, there was an issue with it, but we can try it and see if
Yeah.
it's something else I'm thinking of or if that was the case.
Huge disclaimer, I don't know any of this. So you're teaching me.
So we want the subtle and the subtle active now. So we're going to do the same thing again in reverse. We're going to do white, and then we're going to do white again, and we're going to say 75% like that. And then we've got some other colors in here as well. There's primary color emphasis. And then, oh, I'm trying to think. There might be an issue with this too. Let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. It looks like it's working because if I do this, the palette, remember the palette is based off of those colors. And if we zoom in on one of these colors, we should get Kendo primary subtle. And if we click on that, ooh, it did not refresh. This should be a calculation in here. Something's not right yet. Let's do an empty cache and hard refresh. Okay, so now it changed. That's a different blue, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Than what we had before. Let's try that again. Again, we're not going to get yellow. We're going to get
And there we go.
So it did change the palette ever so slightly, but now it's a dynamic palette. Yeah. And if we click on that, now you can see the calculations in here. Color mix, blah, blah, blah. We got our two color mix options. Now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking. Because now we can change a color and it's going to change all the colors.
Yeah. So that means that from one accent color in the AI description, we could actually change the entire theme then.
Right.
Nice.
The entire app now. And that's where the style builder is going to come in handy because we're going to have to write out all of these styles again. So
let's do it better now that we know how to do it or what we want to do.
So I think we're about half an hour over time.
Are you in a hurry? I want to see this, unless you've got a meeting.
No, we can play around with this real quick.
Yeah, I just want to see it work. We don't need to, fill all things.
And then we can work on making it more of a feature next time. because right now, so what we can do right now is when we upload the file, we'll just go ahead and automatically blast out the entire theme for the site. So we'll do this. If we select this, we want the entire site to theme yellow, right? Where later what we want to do is create a library of images and have their individual palettes shown here.
Yeah.
And then a button to apply it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
that'd be really cool.
We'll have like a state object that holds the color state. And then we could go through our library of cards and click on apply on the ones that we like. And we could create a generation tool that will also auto-generate images for us instead of uploading. So we'll do some baby steps here. So when we select the file, we're going to invoke this method down here, which is on success. And then on success, we want to build a theme. So we'll invoke that. So let's do some theming now. This is the tricky part. So we need to do a public static or just public style builder. So the style builder is coming from Blazor component utilities, and don't confuse the word style with the overall style of like Kendo UI. It's the style builder object is building an inline style, so CSS inline style.
All right. So it builds a style tag for you.
Yeah. How's chat doing, by the way?
Yeah, they're doing well.
Any questions? I kind of lost track of what's going on there.
No, I'm keeping track.
We don't want cascading. That's the point. We want to have cascading. Let's see. So we want a style builder here. And we're going to call this one create theme. And we're going to pass in a string. That is our accent color. And what's nice about Style Builder is it's got a Fluent API to it. So we can say Style Builder .empty, which means we're going to start with nothing. And then we're going to add a style. All Style Builder.empty is a syntactic sugar for saying new. But it has some overloads.
I love Fluent.
It gets us chaining, right? So we're going to always add a Kendo color primary. And our second option is going to be the accent color. If you look, it might be hard to see the... So this style builder add style has two arguments, the property and the string. So what we're essentially going to do is build a style and the property, for example, color, and the value, which should be some color, right?
There's one thing that I'm not quite following here, and that is string accent color and create theme there. How does that work?
So we're going to pass in accent color.
Oh, right. We're creating a, yeah.
This is going to come from our
method.
API.
Yeah. Now I get it. Took me a second.
This is going to essentially build style colon hash Kendo color primary color.
Yeah, and then accent color.
And then what the style builder tool is going to do for us, the library is going to create the style tag or the attribute, which is actually more like that.
Yeah, equals and paragraph.
It's going to create this with the correct enclosure. Then it's going to add the property and the value with the right
Mhm.
delimiters. So if I add 10 of these, it will know where the colons and semicolons belong. So I don't type these all in manually and
Yeah.
pose something up.
Yeah.
So I can do add style as much as I'd like. So our primary color is here. Then we have all of these other ones we want to tackle as well.
Yeah.
The interesting override for this is, this is something that I think we were trying to address earlier, was if I override the primary color, even though I'm calculating on all of these, I
Mhm.
still need to override the additional colors. It's
Oh, they
weird.
won't update.
Yeah, they won't update.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I need to go redefine them all to update them all. I can't just come in and say Kendo primary color is blue, and then because those were all calculations before, they're going to recalculate
Yeah.
again.
So
They
they're
do not.
pre-calculated on page load, and then they won't update unless you set new values to. Gotcha.
So we got to do that again. So we're going to say public style builder, um, theme settings. And then we're going to call a lambda again and say style
Mhm.
builder, style builder.
If you don't do empty, what does style builder
You can
auto add?
do new style builder.
All right. Oh, so it's just a, yeah, gotcha.
You do it that way.
It gives you
And
an
this just gives
instance.
you, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a shortcut, syntactic sugar. There's default gives you basically a constructor with one style element,
Yeah.
and then empty gives you basically
Yeah, an empty one, a
a
new
null
one.
wrapper or a new instance, an empty instance. And then CSS builder, there's two things. There's style builder that gives you a style attribute, and CSS builder that gives you a class attribute. And both
Okay.
of those have different delimiters and so on and so forth. And they
Mm.
have different builder entry points. So we'll say empty again to start our chain. And we'll say add style, and then it gets really verbose here. I'm going to copy and paste this because it is really
Yeah,
long.
do that.
And nobody wants to see me type all that because you saw how bad I am at typing.
Yeah. I actually, unrelated, really used to hate when people used snippets because it felt a bit like, to draw an owl, make a circle, and then draw the rest of the freaking owl. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, right? Yeah. But once I started actually, showing code, and it's like, yes, I I can't write these. What is it? Yeah, so it's only like 15 lines, but it's still like repetitive. And if you get a character wrong, and it doesn't contain anything interesting really.
I
But some
found a
people
nice
use them
hack.
just add entirely huge functions with logic, and yeah.
I found a nice hack for presentations, and I have a video coming out on it. I
Hmm.
released one today. So there's a video that I did on how to build better prompts with comments in
Hmm.
your files. What's really fun for presentations is,
Hmm.
let's say I want to present this at a conference, and I don't want to type a bunch of stuff and mess it up because you all see how bad I am at typing. But
Yeah.
say I want to have like a using statement I need to write there. Um, and I'll use the component utilities one as an example, even though it's already in scope. But I'm going to come up into comments. Let's see if this will work in Razor. I don't know if it'll work in Razor, but we'll try. I'll come up into comments here, see how well the AI does with this. I'll say at. It's not going to let me do an ad, is it? Let's try it just like this, using Razor component utilities in comments. And now when I come down here, I should be able to say at using Oh, the AI stuff isn't working in here.
Yeah, I haven't seen Copilot
Ah,
trigger
Copilot doesn't work in
once.
here.
No.
Um, if I go over to my program CS on the server, I know I'm getting off topic, but
Yeah,
am
yeah,
I
yeah,
though?
yeah.
I mean, this is I kind of did it here.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah. I think we went. No, yeah, I think you went through this on the
might
stream
have said this
before I
last
joined
week.
you the first time.
If something's in comments up here, it will
Hmm.
repeat it verbatim. So if I
Yeah.
say app get, notice it's starting to hello.
Yeah, and there we go.
There we go. It literally
Nice.
completed that whole thing verbatim. So I'll
Hmm.
put literally all of my stuff that I'm going to present now up here and hide it. And then I can just cue it off of like the first two words of whatever it is, and
Yeah.
it'll start writing it out. And if you keep following a sequence, it'll keep pace with you basically.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome because it really helps speed up showing presentations. People don't want to see you type. They want to know why you typed it.
Yeah, yeah. But when people are like, just here is 150 lines of logic, I'm not going to go through this. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank
So
you.
back over to theme
Yeah.
chooser. We've
So we
got,
have the add style, and you're resetting all of the color mix-ins to what we. Sorry, mix-in is a SAS term, I think.
yeah.
But yeah.
But once we set color primary, if we walk back through the calculations, it
Hmm.
will now cascade them all and color them all and reset
Yeah.
them to what we want. The last thing we need to do is link these two things together. I separated them just for sanity's sake
Yep.
because accent color is the one that's going to really do the work. The rest of it is just theme settings that this is like the same static stuff all the time.
Hmm.
Um, and then Style Builder has a nice feature where you can chain in another style. So I can do add style, and then I can say theme settings here, and that needs brackets.
Can't you just do dot theme settings there? Oh no, it'll empty it. Never mind.
Yeah. So,
If you just do, yeah, yeah,
I mean, we could have made it like a field or a property, but still,
yeah, but
it's
nah,
going to result in
no,
the same thing.
yep,
So we can do theme settings and have it call theme settings, which will then, so it's going to build out this line and then it's going to build out all of these lines. And it just keeps them
hmm,
nice and separate and clean so I can see what I'm doing. Even though I could have just deleted those lines and it would have been the
yeah,
same
it just
thing.
kept going.
Could have
Yeah,
kept going, but this felt cleaner. So last
hmm,
time I did that,
it
that's
is,
the way I wrote it.
because that way you can really just collapse the whole theme settings and just forget about that
And it's a little bit more
repetitive
reusable
stuff.
too.
Yeah. So what do we do with
Create
the style builder after we've created it?
we need to call it
Yeah, first we need the color,
image
right?
analysis. Uh, Actually, I'm calling it the wrong. Well, I'm calling it in the wrong place. So this is actually going to be a problem. We are in scope of the card,
Mm-hmm.
and this needs to go up a level. This needs to actually happen on the application level.
Cascading.
So it needs to go all the way up to the dashboard. Nope.
Oh, I
Components,
think the
layout,
layout is in
main
the
layout.
server, right? No, it's in the client. Never mind.
On main layout, we need to create, we have a code section already, so we can just plop that in the code section.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to put this on the outermost portion of our application. So let's double check here. We've got root layout as well. Root layout wraps body. Main layout is up here. We should be able to just drop a div in here. and say style equals, and then
And wrap the entire thing in.
yeah, we need to do a. Might put that in the wrong place too. It needs to be.
I think you need to
invoked
cascade the accent color down.
Yeah. Well, we need to pass it up. We're going to need a service.
Yeah. We can skip this. It's starting to be a lot, but yeah. Because we'll need to register a singleton service or a
class or style equals create theme. Was it not create theme? Yeah, it's create theme. Create theme. Red. I don't know if it'll do it with a named color.
Yeah, you need those. And then red. And needs to be a string. Red needs to be a string. There you go.
It's double completing those things again.
Yeah.
There.
And then move the div down, I'm assuming.
It needs to wrap the entire page. That.
Gotcha.
So we can do create theme, red. This is a static theme for now.
Yeah, so we're not reading it from the image we've loaded, but this is just to test it,
so
right?
We should get a red theme now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next show, just be wiring it up to a button that tells it to
wiring it up to a button and adding multiple files that end up in a list, and holy crap, it just works.
It's bright red.
Yeah.
So what we'll do next time.
And the hover is darker.
Yeah. So like I said, it's not like a it's a general rule of thumb. It's not a set in stone type of thing, but for most themes, the hover color gets darker. Not
but you can set that in a single place what your calculations are going to be, and then you can just add the rest.
Yeah, so now we could come in here and say hello. That if I save it and go back,
I
don't have hot reload in there.
This is the bad thing about using.
Oh, that is yellow, buddy.
Oh yeah, that's very yellow.
That is so yellow.
Yeah. But I think we got the point across, right?
That made some points. All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to see that for the rest of the afternoon.
It's like when you look into a, right? Oh yeah. If you look at like a bright light and you keep having that dot in the middle of your vision
after images
hours. Yeah.
You can see the full palette here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other ways to calculate these color themes too. Like this is just one. This is just taking it and going lighter and darker. You could do color wheel stuff if you wanted.
Could add red. I could add yellow.
Yeah, I guess you can do color. It's the only thing is with color mix, you can only mix colors. Like you can't. You can kind of traverse the color wheel, but you have to be clever about it. You have to go into different color modes to do it. So you really have to know your color theory to come up with something more than just lightening and darkening the colors.
Yeah.
So it is possible. It's just more difficult. They don't have all of the color functions yet in CSS.
Yeah, as I said, I've done that with color theory and color picking algorithms and whatnot. It's a whole world.
So let's see if we get custom properties, pseudo selectors. There's a pretty good amount of them. But darn it. Where's it at? There's some that are still experimental.
Yeah,
And I tried to use them one day and I realized they're just not supported anywhere.
but they
How to hook
might
these
be
up.
at some point.
They will be, yeah.
Yeah.
There's color mix. Let's see if I can
Mm-hmm.
find it in
You have
color
color
contrast.
conic gradient, I'm assuming.
Here's another one, color contrast,
Mm-hmm.
experimental. So this one will give you the contrasting color.
Yeah.
And look, no, no across the board. So there was that one, and there's another one as well.
You have the
What is
gradient
it?
there, which I'm assuming also
Oh,
does. No, wait,
maybe
that's
it's
not.
this one. This might be the one I'm thinking of. This might actually work now.
From.
Yeah, I think this might be the one. Color. So you can create a new color from existing colors.
Yeah.
But there was something I was trying to use one day that was not working. I think this
Yeah.
is the one.
But what does the support look like for this?
Yeah, let's check that. Oh, it says it's
Oh,
widely
yeah, it was
available now.
fairly good. Fairly good.
This one says newly available. Baseline
Mm-hmm.
2023. Baseline 2023. Color mix.
Because I'm guessing the ones with the beaker next to them are like, yeah, they're probably not gonna work.
Hue of an element and its contents. See, this one's for images.
Yeah.
This doesn't work on colors. There is another one I'm trying to think of. Palette mix.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I think I'm talking about. Palette
Yeah.
mix.
So you have
Used to
Chromium
create
has
a
it,
new.
but
Oh, that's font palette.
Firefox and Safari doesn't.
This is font palette. That's not the one either. Okay. Well, that's a rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is other
There's a
color
bunch.
functions coming. I just cannot remember what they are.
Yeah.
Color contrast is definitely one of them. Because this one, essentially, what you want to do is throw like a black theme, dark theme, and a light theme together, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that when this gets darkened out like this, the color on top of it is going to be bright enough that you can read it. So you want it to get the contrast in color.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you can calculate that in .NET, but you cannot do it in CSS directly.
Sounds, from my understanding, like something that's really good for A11T.
Yeah.
Being an ally.
So keep that in mind too. These colors that
Yeah.
I'm calculating in CSS, you can calculate them in C# and send them in
Yeah,
that environment.
but
But I like to
if you
try to
can do
use
it
the
in
browser.
CSS, then why not do it in CSS?
Yeah, I do have an
Yeah.
example of how to do that on my GitHub page.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is what we'll do next. Like we want to show several of these, click a button, shove that color into state management, and then set it at the top level, and it'll cascade down.
Yeah.
And then I think we just need to wrap the palette component with the same CSS, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply that same thing just locally right here. That's what I was talking about, where you can scope these things.
Yeah.
So we can set it
But
at
you can
that
scope the
level.
entire card with the local
Hmm.
palette and then send that palette out
Yeah.
to the layout when you want to update it.
So you would do essentially a div here and say style equals, and then you'd set the style the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have that, that card will only that
Yep.
card will have it. So you'll have a nice little preview of each
Yep.
one. So we can work on that next time.
Sounds perfect.
And then if you're interested in all of this coloring things, you want to do it without, maybe you don't have Telerik UI for Blazor, you don't want to sign up for a free trial just yet. You can go to my GitHub page, github.com/edcharbonneau. I'll share that and I'll share the full link in chat when I get to it. There is one called CSS for Blazor developers in here. CSS for Blazor developers presentation.
Is that the one where you did the entire presentation in Blazor?
Yeah, it is the
Yeah, it's
presentation. It's
awesome.
very meta.
Yeah.
Boom. Could also pick a color directly from the image. We could. So that was something I was trying to dabble with. Um, it's actually kind of a pain in the, you know what? Um, the color picker or the picking a color from an image requires either JavaScript and a JavaScript library to like pull the image into memory and go pixel by pixel and look at colors, which is very processor intensive, by the way. So usually what people do is they'll take the image, shrink it.
Hmm.
So, if it's, huge image, they'll resize it to like a 128 pixel by 128 pixel postage stamp, blur it, and then find the averages, the mean of
But
whatever color is the most popular in there.
that feels like a
Whereas
good way to get that brown that we kept getting before.
it is, but what the AI thing is supposed to be doing, I don't know if this is the case, but it should be looking for subject matter and
Yeah, it should be, but
pulling
I meant compared
because
to the, make a stamp out of it, blur it,
yeah,
and then look for the main. Here it should
so
actually be
if
looking
you
for what am I looking at and figuring out that, okay, so the
yeah,
interesting thing here is probably the field of flowers.
should be, but we
Yeah.
got the sky in this case.
Yeah, but the problem
So
is here that flowers is at position 8.
yeah, and
Sky and outdoor and grass and yeah.
I'm not sure where their model's tuned. I mean, we could probably find another one, but I've had a hard time finding one that does color.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the idea behind AI finding the color is it should do it more intelligently, where it's looking at the image and looking for subject matter and picking the
Yeah.
color from the subject rather than
Than
just the
just getting an
pixels.
average. Yeah.
Because the pixels, if you think about like a large library of images, say you've got a lot of landscapes, you're going to get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of just blue and green because there's going to be
Yeah.
grass and sky.
Yeah.
So it's not very
Yeah, but that's what I
interesting.
meant. Like it's seeing sky as the top confidence
Yeah,
thing, and that's why it's picking the color from the sky. Even
right.
though we might want the subject to be something else, that is
Like
what it's
the
most
flowers.
confident that it's looking at.
Yeah. So these were probably trained on something like a CAPTCHA or something where they're like,
Hmm.
pick the whatever from this photo, and somebody was manually like a human in the loop training
Yeah.
that developed this. So there might be other
Crowdsourcing.
models out there. I haven't found them. If you see one, let
Uh,
me know. We'll give it a try. Uh, Picking pixels is gonna get you there, but it might not be the most interesting thing. Um,
yeah. As I
we'll have
said,
to
that
see.
feels like a great way of getting brown. If you just let's
Yeah.
average out the pixels of this image into a color, and that's gonna
Well, you don't
yeah.
average them into a color. You average them into a dictionary. So you'd blur this image out. So it basically just makes it a little bit smaller like this.
Hmm.
And then you're going to scan over it. In this case, it'd be red. Because what you're going to do
Yeah.
is you're going to go literally for each pixel. You'll blur it slightly, and then you'll go over each pixel. So you'll have like a giant blob of blue and a giant blob of red, and you're going to get
Ah,
more red than blue.
yeah. So you basically count the amount of
Yeah.
pixels of each color, and then you pick the main one.
So
Gotcha.
if I
Gotcha.
blurred this, you're going to get squares
Hmm.
of blurred color,
Yeah.
and then you'd say, okay, I have 4 blues and I have
In
16
that case,
red.
this would actually work and pick up red.
It would pick up red. But
Yeah.
again, like if it's AI, it should be doing a little bit more. I'm kind
One
of
would think
disappointed
so.
it picked sky
Yeah.
instead of flowers. But what
Hmm.
you'd hope it would do is go, the flowers are red. That's what the human would
Yeah.
be picking out of this. Or in case of some of our other photography here, um, you know,
But the issue
the
is captures
butterfly,
where it said
balloon.
select images that contain sky.
This is a great example because if you were to run this through a non-AI algorithm, it'd be blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas the AI picked up this balloon is the most important thing, and this is yellow, and then it picked a yellow out of it.
Mm.
So that's the difference between the two
Yeah.
ideas.
I like it.
But I was sharing GitHub link. I shared the GitHub link, right?
Yeah, to the presentation.
Yeah. Let's see.
You did.
Go to my start window. I think I still have it on deck here. No, I do not. All right. I was going to pull it up if I had it, but
Probably on a laptop or something.
it probably is on my laptop.
Yeah.
But you will find a lot of similar code in here. And it was originally written with Sass. You might have to do an npm install and run Sass on it for it to work. But if you run the app, it's literally called presentation. And then there is a component in here that has a slider that you can use. And it's probably under, let's see,
Should be in
framework,
theme
CSS
picker. No, you have a
properties,
slider folder there. Yeah.
scale. No, it's not scale. It's not parameters. It's scope. Yeah, this is the scope one. There's a slider where you pull it across an image or a palette and select a color with the slider. And this is where it gets the contrasting color. So you can calculate these in .NET, and this
Yeah,
is
to get the
this is get the
inverted
inverted color.
right there.
You
Yeah.
have to strip the hash symbol off and the preceding
Yeah.
2 bits in hexadecimal.
Yeah.
Because
And then you convert it to an int, and then you do bitwise operations that do a thing.
Yeah. So when you get the color
yeah.
back, it's missing 2 bits of information, and I can't remember why, but you have to replace the hash with 2 bits, and then you have to convert it to an unsigned integer, and then you have to shift register it. And
Yeah.
then when you shift it, that will essentially like take the last bits and put them at the front.
Yeah.
Moves everything down a notch, and that will get you the opposite color. It was a pain in the butt.
I
And
can
then you have to
imagine
convert
when
it
you start
back.
doing bitwise operations. I mean, I know them and I understand them, but it's
But how
like,
often?
when do you actually need to use them? Is the big
Exactly.
question. Like
Yeah.
knowing that, okay, so this is a good use for a bit operation.
Yeah, so it's something like, so if we get pound 003366 in, and then we actually replace that, so we get 3366, and then it ends up being 66 F0033. Is that right? Something like that. I do no, it's
I'm
subtraction.
not actually entirely
flipping
sure
it.
what the
I'm doing
16
it wrong.
does.
It's it takes, oh man, it's been a long time. It's gonna take them.
Oh yeah, Phil, it's a
Oh, it's pushing all F's
bit,
in. That's
bit
what it is.
field, I believe. That's
It's
probably
doing
the first one I used.
that, and then taking the.
Isn't that a XOR? XOR?
Yeah. It's
I
gonna
think
flip
so,
them.
at least. Yeah.
It's going to flip them,
Yeah.
invert them.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't do it off the top of my head because that would
Now,
be
first of
zero.
all, you
But
need to
this one
convert
would be 0.
the FF0033 to binary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does
Which,
math. It does maths.
yeah.
And then maths happen, and then you get the opposite.
Yeah.
Boolean maths happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is like the one thing that you learned in computer science that you never use
Yeah.
except once. And you're like, oh
As
yeah,
Snobble
that was
says, I
handy.
think the one he says is the one instance where I've used a bit field, or sorry, a binary operation myself, and like, okay, so this is where I need to do this.
Yeah.
Storing multiple booleans in single, like, int32 or int64 or whatever you want to use,
It's
by
funny,
shifting and ending.
couple years ago, I did a show where we did touch in Blazor. So we
Mm-hmm.
basically wanted it was like a Blazor Power Hour just to see if we could do um, swipe left and swipe right. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to detect, am I swiping left or right on the screen, right or left? And the inputs that you get from HTML or Blazor in general is you get the touch start and the touch
Mm-hmm.
end,
Yeah.
and that's it. So you have to
Yep.
do math because you need to find out the touch start and end, the distance between them,
Yep.
and the speed in which that happened. So the velocity.
Yes. Does that update as it goes, or does that update
You get,
when you release?
I think you get a timestamp on each.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you get the timestamp on the start and the timestamp on the end. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have to calculate like how fast, like what was the velocity of that and the direction.
Fun.
So was it a
Fun.
positive or a negative direction? And then the slope. So you need the slope
Mm-hmm.
too, because
If you speed
if the
up or
slope
slow
is
down, or
this way
mm-hmm.
or that way or this way or that way, then it's not a left or right anymore, right?
Yeah.
So you have to know the
Yeah.
slope, the velocity, and all of that. I did a show on
Mm-hmm.
that the same night my daughter tosses down her geometry textbook and she's like, when is anybody ever going to use this stuff?
Like
And I was
an
like,
hour
well,
ago.
actually,
Yeah. Yeah. Just for Snobel's comment there, I have this, and I'm not sure if that translates, but I think you can guess what it says. Data. It's a little bit dry.
we'll do more user interface next week. How does
Yeah,
that sound?
I think that sounds awesome. I mean, we got most of it working, and we know what to do next.
Well,
So I
thanks to
think that's
you.
a
You
really good
corrected me.
step forward.
And we will see you next week.